And this evening, I'm going to be inviting you to consider what to put into your treasure box, not just the physical things, but the spiritual things as well. And maybe there might be some things you'd like to take out as well. So do you still have your treasure box? I certainly have my treasure box. And what would you put in your treasure box if you still don't have one? Maybe a new treasure box. And would you put your hopes in there or your memories in there? What items, what stories, what dreams? And where did this idea come from? I was sitting and reflecting, what can I share with the beautiful souls who come to Harmony House Meditation Center? What can I offer this evening that they can take away and put into their hearts? And I was sitting on the rich green grass, surrounded by trees and a carpet of flowers, watching people walking by. I was just sitting in the park. And what I saw mums and dads and children, babies in push chairs. And I saw shoppers and grandparents, but they all had different expressions on their faces. Some were smiling and happy, and some were lost in their thoughts. And it got me thinking, what kind of treasure are they carrying in their treasure box? Are they all happy? Are they uplifting thoughts? Or are they feeling a wee bit sad with the current situation? So what would you put in your treasure box? Let's start the journey. I'm going to start with things which are more material and then come to things which are really very private and spiritual, just for you. Firstly, family and friends we love and appreciate. We all have family, or what we call family, maybe a home that we live in, or maybe with a group of friends. And it's a time when we can be at home with them and ourselves. And homes are essential for all of us in some shape or form. And your friends, wow. Your friends, the good company that they bring to you, they're with you during good times and not so good times. They share your secrets, they help you to grow. I wonder if in your treasure box, would you put in there your family and friends? I would, most certainly, and certainly Harmony House. But then there are material things that we appreciate. And sometimes we forget to appreciate and to show gratitude to the things that are around us. I'm going to invite you to consider, are these the kind of things I'd like to put into my treasure box? Things sometimes we just take for granted. For example, air. As I was sitting on the grass watching all these people walking by in the park, the air was fresh. Is the air fresh where you are? Do you take time out to go for a walk by the sea? Those who are listening in Kuwait now, good evening to you, special welcome to all the Middle East here now. And of course in Europe too. And I love walking by the seaside. And sometimes I take off my shoes and I walk just at the edge of the water, so that cool water is lapping around my feet. But the air is special. It has this ozone feeling and it invigorates me. Do I take it for granted? Do I pollute the air around me? I try not to. So is the purity of the air we breathe something to go into your treasure box? Something that's out there for each and every one of us? And what about the food that we eat? The food that nourishes us. It comes from Mother Earth. Where else can it come from? And it's harvested by so many people with so much love just for us to either eat raw or to cook. And we need to eat well to keep our bodies nourished, a healthy, balanced diet. And I'm fascinated that globally now there's a great rise in the interest in vegetarianism and veganism, where the true plant food comes through and energizes our bodies. So do we eat well? And water. Those who are living in desert kingdoms at the moment, particularly in the Gulf region there, water is so precious. It's more costly than oil. And for Kuwait, I'm giving the example of Kuwait. Where does your fresh water come from? My understanding is it comes from the sea, and it's desalinated in the power stations and comes to you through the pipes to your tap so you can turn it. Do we take water of life for granted? Because we're 70, 80% water. Is water something that you would put into your treasure box? For me, it certainly is, and I certainly wouldn't waste it because we would perish without it. And what about shelter? We mentioned about homes previously, but we all need shelter, somewhere we can go at the end of the day, somewhere to retreat, to be with our friends, or just be by ourselves. And we all need that shelter over our head and somewhere comfortable. You know, we're very lucky to have our homes and all these beautiful things around us. And my feeling now is, do we really treasure these? I know we do. And I'm hoping that I'm sharing with you this evening, you may be able to share with others around you, those parents who have children, to really appreciate all these beautiful things, their mums and dads, their friends, their home, the air, their water, and clothing. We all need clothing to protect ourselves from the sun and from the cold. And my question here is, do you have sufficient clothing, or do you have too much clothing? Is your style simple or elaborate? Do you have a special piece for a special occasion? Do you notice how when we wear something on a special occasion, maybe a white garment, we always iron it with great care? That's something we really appreciate. Do we appreciate our clothing that's there for us? It comes from Mother Earth, nowhere else. And natural fibers next to our skin are really, really beautiful. It helps our skin to breathe, whereas plastic and polystyrene, or sorry, polythene kind of clothing can maybe make us sweat, like polyester. But more things in our treasure box. The current situation of the globe is not very pleasant at the moment with COVID. And do we look after our bodies? Do we really take care of our bodies? We've only got one body. And sometimes we forget to say thank you to our body parts. Because our body is on our side. There's a soul inside our body. And it's living inside this body. And this body carries us from A to B to C to D. And we thank our eyes. We thank our ears. Our mouths so we can taste the food. And our arms to reach and to hold and to give. And think of your ankles, these tiny, tiny feet of yours and ankles carrying all your weight to take you forward. And if you have aches and pains in your body, thank your knees, thank your legs and your arms. And they'll feel that appreciation, and that ache will go. But sometimes we take ourselves so much for granted. We've only got one body, so let's look after it. Let's look after it well. And thank your lungs for this fresh air, and your heart, because the heart is so special. And we know that the heart holds memory. Recent research shows our heads hold memory, these sensory neurites, and so does our heart. Our heart carries our emotion, and our heart carries our truth. Our head decides. Some people say, follow your heart. We need both. So thank your heart. Take care of it. Don't pollute it. Don't harm it. Don't over-exercise, but exercise every day. Is this in your treasure box? I value my exercise every day. I value my meditation every day. Do you? Do you all? Wow, this treasure box is going to get quite full tonight. And society out there, all the occupations that people have, wherever you're living, in Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Dubai, England, Greece, Turkey, wherever you're living, all the occupations, those around you, to keep you healthy and alive and full of good food and transport, and people like car mechanics and airline pilots. Amazing. Everybody has a special part to play, and so do we. Do you know your part? We'll come to that a little later. So really, and the safety, there's so much concern out there at the moment about feeling safe. And there are many working so hard to keep us safe, like the police, the ambulance people, and the security forces, just quietly keeping an eye on it, making sure we're okay, keeping within the law. When did you last thank somebody for what they were doing on a special task? I love to say a thank you from my treasure box, wherever I go, particularly the shopkeepers at the moment who, with their masks on, serving us so well and taking care of us. But nature, wow. When did you last stop and look at nature? I was looking recently at a little YouTube video that somebody from Harmony House had made. And one of the sisters walked to the scientific center, and the camera focused on the leaves and the sea, but particularly picked up on the sound of nature. When did you last take time out for you to appreciate nature? Just to sit and to listen and to really absorb this tremendous beauty that is all around us. And the flowers. There are many, many flower shops, particularly in the part of the world where you are now. And on special occasions, we go to these flower shops. And the one I used to go to in Kuwait was down in the basement somewhere. It's nice and cool. And there are red flowers, orange, yellow, blue, white, green, a myriad of colors and different scents. These are God-given. These are on our planet. Are these something you put in your treasure box? I certainly treasure them in my treasure box. But what about a special possession? We all have these special possessions, don't we? It may be a ring. It may be a set of prayer beads, or something that maybe somebody very close in your family has given to you. Will that go into your treasure box? And the shortest distance between two people we know is a smile. I can't be with you now, but I'm hoping that my smile is giving you a message that all is good and will be good. Because where I am now, for example, the sun is slowly setting. And you can probably see the little myriads and globes of light which are coming onto the wall behind me and maybe onto my body itself. These magical miracles of earth around us, sometimes we miss them. And I think we miss them because some of us got into the habit of being human doings and not being human beings. And we all fall in that trap sometimes. You seem to be doing to be noticed. Whereas in truth, when you're being, you notice more for your purity, your kindness, the warmth and the air you give, the aura you give to others around you. And lastly, for this part of material things, because we're shifting now to the spiritual side, time. Time. Do you have time to do what you really want to do? Time out for yourselves? Are you that free spirit? You know, Raja Yoga meditation can free the spirit. It lets you know who you are, who you're connected with, and to have time for you in regular meditation. That's something that I certainly put in my treasure box. So to recap very briefly on these material things and human things, what would you choose to put into your treasure box? Sometimes you might have to take things out to get things into the treasure box, because I don't want a big, heavy treasure box. It'd be too weighty and weigh you down. Keep it light, keep it simple. So what would go in there? Your family, your friends, your air, your food, your water, your shelter, your clothing, your health, those in society, flowers, time to be alone, time to be with friends. What would you put in your treasure box? Wow. And what 5 things are most important for you? Your greatest treasures, what are they? I'm talking just here at the moment on the material side. What are these greatest treasures for you? Is it the air? Is it water? Is it shelter? What is it? And the great thing is, it'll all be different for each and every one of us. To conclude this part, 3 words I'd like to share with you about what to put in your material treasure box. Whatever you put in there, it's simple. Appreciate, and appreciate. These are true treasures. Now let's go inside now. Your inside you treasures. I mentioned about appreciating your body. Now think of my eyes. I really appreciate my eyes. I thank my eyes for the vision they give me every day. What do you see with your eyes? What do you choose to see? Do you see the best in everyone? Because what you see is what you get, and what you see shapes your emotion and your feeling. That's why it's so important in the early morning, if you can find time to sit quietly in meditation, because that's the foundation of your day. And I come to a little trick and technique you can use to make your meditation very, very powerful, even just for 5-10 minutes at the start of every day. So what are your treasures? What treasures, these invisible treasures, which you put into your treasure box? And I'm going to put this to one side now, because material treasures are one thing, but we need them, but spiritual treasures are something else. Around the world today, one of the most valuable and constant treasures is love. I can't think of anyone in the world who doesn't want to feel loved. Love is a big something in my treasure box. To see the best in all. And for me, this begins with self-care and self-love. Little 8-year-old girl, many years ago, she said to me, Mr. Peter, all this about life, it's all about the inside and not only the outside. It is about the inside. Yet on my journeys globally, I feel a bit disturbed sometimes when I see beautiful people and beautiful souls compare themselves to others, what other people have. And they don't feel good enough, or somebody tells them they aren't good enough. We all need love. We all need compassion. We all need understanding. Because we're all different, all our own journey with our own task and role to play, and part to play in life. So self-care through meditation really, really helps. And on many journeys I've tried in my lifetime and many persuasions, the one that really touched my heart deeply is, of course, Raja Yoga meditation. And that's why I'm here after all these 20 plus years. A different Peter now. And thank Baba for this. Thank God for this. Happiness, the joy of life. We are naturally imbued with love. It's a natural quality of the soul. And happiness is also a natural quality of the soul. It's nothing new that I'm sharing with you. So is happiness in your treasure box? And when we lose it, it's because we have a desire for something. We want something, and we aren't happy again until we've got that something. So are you happy all the time? Is your spirit free to choose? I keep coming back to this term, free your spirit. No one can own your spirit. No one can own your soul. You can share with others, But at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your choice what goes into your spiritual treasure box. Self-love, self-care, happiness. And for me, a big one is simplicity. These days, I think all of us, with the current situation in the world and what we've been through with all these lockdowns, is to appreciate now the simple things in life that really do matter. We've mentioned the material things into this treasure box now, but to be happy with just what you have. Your air, your water, your shelter, good company to share you through these difficult times, and to have this hope in your heart that things will get better, and they will get better in time. You must be patient. That's a great virtue. And to accept whatever's coming our way. You can't change it. And if you take the weight of your world on your shoulders, you're just going to shrivel and shrivel and shrivel. We can each be the example. And one of the greatest treasures in the treasure box is simply just to be the example. And others will follow you. They will feel this purity with each and every soul. Your aura will reach out and embrace this energy of warmth and welcome. Of course, it'll protect you as well. If there's something you don't like, move away. That's so important. The intuition will tell you that. Your inner world will speak to your soul and speak to your heart, and to move away. And another great treasure in the treasure box is tolerance. You know, sometimes I say this person should do this and this person should do that, and controlling people this way and controlling that way. Whoa, slow down. We are all learning. So we come to appreciate that everybody else is on their own journey. And what they say is actually a reflection of what is on their inside. So we listen with compassion. We listen with understanding. We don't absorb it. We can learn from it. That's another aspect. Because we're all going to get there in the end, and to accommodate, just to go with the flow of life. You can stick with a boulder in a rock, in the river, but the water goes round. And if we don't go around, we get stuck on that rock, and it gets painful. You get a bit scared. You need to get off the rock. So go with the flow, but believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. Believe you have a destiny to fulfill. Be that free spirit. I often look at trees. I love to go and walk and sit in the woods sometimes. And I see these strong trees which survive all the winds, the very strong winds, and the branches sway. They can sway. They have very strong roots, deep roots. But in England, about 20 years ago now, I remember there was a massive hurricane come storm, and these trees, which were so solid and they wouldn't budge at all in the wind, they just fell. They had no flexibility, and they were uprooted. None of us want to be uprooted. Every one of us wants to hold on to our dignity and our self-esteem and our self-respect. And that's another great treasure, self-respect, to go with the flow, to bend, to understand, to learn and to listen. But most of all, have this self-care and to love ourselves. Because God, Allah, has got a special task that only we can do. Only one of us. This job you have to do is totally unique to you. You can appreciate all the other roles and parts people play, but what part can we play? Not just the material treasures, but the spiritual treasures which come deep into your heart. And to be generous, just to give with no expectation of return. That's true happiness. I'm content with what I have. There was a story of the orange seller. There was a boy, you've probably heard this before. And there's a boy, or now really a young man, he was selling oranges by the roadside. And this gentleman drove in a rather expensive car and bought his oranges. And he says, yeah, guess what, young man, I'm an orange manufacturer. I've harvested them and I make orange juice. And I'm so rich, and what I can do, I can actually go out on my boat and enjoy my evening just for me because of that. You too can do that. The young man looked at him with his bright eyes and luminous skin. He was so happy. He said, Yeah, I'm doing that now. I'm happy with what I have. I can do that now. So his earthly feeling of something very special, like a paradise, was there for that taking, not to do extra for things. And this inner smile we all have, the inner smile shows contentment. You know, when somebody's happy, they just glow. They glow like Aladdin's lamp. In Greek, it's lampsy for light. So we're all special. So these feelings that we have, you touch and feel, and that's physical. But we are sentient beings. Sentient means feeling beings. What comes through the eyes, what we feed ourselves with, what we do with our bodies to take care of them, look after them, is really who we are. Do we take care of ourselves? Yes. And the big paradox I understand in many parts of the world now is, do you want to be alone or do you want to be in a group? Alone or in a group? And this pandemic has brought this situation very much to the fore at the moment. To be alone is to be alone with yourself, to find yourself. But to be with others is to also find yourself for your conversations. And listening to someone, you know, it's the greatest act of love. So who are you? You're all aware, and I'm coming now to our meditation time. You're all aware that, I want to say here, you're all aware that we all have special treasures. It's interesting now that the sunlight is catching the image behind me with such brightness. We all have a treasure, an inner diamond. An inner diamond. There's something like diamond translates into hero. We're all heroes and heroines. And you all know I used to, well, still working in a school. I can't with the children at the moment because they're at home learning online. But one of my favorite times with the children is a story. And I asked them, where would you keep your greatest treasure? Where no one could steal it. At this point, their own little treasure boxes they made of mummy and daddy and friends and chocolate bars went to one side. I said, where do you keep your treasure, your deepest treasure? The highest mountain? The deepest part of the ocean? In Aladdin's cave somewhere? Where would you keep your greatest treasure? In the cupboard, in the bottom drawer, in the safe in the wall. Anyone would steal it. And the children, the youngest one, without exception, said, and I can hear you saying it, I keep my greatest treasure in my heart. You keep your greatest treasure in your heart. Wow. And I've noticed when youngster children grow to be a bit older, they sometimes forget this. They say, I keep my treasure in my hands. But when we remember our treasures in our heart and in our soul, we are the richest people on earth because no one can steal it. And it's a great, great gift to receive from whatever you wish to call your God or Allah, wherever you are in the world now. God, our Father, the Father of all people, has different names for different cultures and contexts. They're all equally valuable, but there is just one God to take care of us all. So I'm about to take you into meditation now, and some very simple steps before we guide you. Before I guide you on a journey of it's called the 4 stones, by the way. It's called the four stones, and it's just how to be quiet. And there are 3 self-appreciations that might help you on your journey to quiet meditation time. The first step is to appreciate yourself. I am kind. I am love. I am self-respect. You know, we sometimes forget to say these things. Many souls say, I am not this and not that. No, no. You have these qualities in you. I am love. I am peace. I am respect. Just reflect on those for a few moments, and you start to glow inside and feel it, believe it, because they're the powers in the soul, the qualities of the soul that we all have. And remember, the heart holds memory. The heart holds memory, the 17 neurites. Keep your heart happy, the rest looks after itself. Remember, the head chooses this way, that way. The heart is always true, gives you a straight answer. The second part, after you've enjoyed saying, I am peaceful, I am kind, I am loving, is to appreciate silence. And while I was in Kuwait, I really learned this, Not only at the Harmony House Meditation Center, but walk into any mosque. Wow. It's a paradox. It's a tangible, intangible feeling. There's something there. There's something speaks in the silence. And in meditation and prayer, we can find that. So listen, offer your prayer, offer your hopes and your dreams and your gratitude to your one Father. Yes, do that. But through your prayer, or whatever you speak in your mind or your voice, this is part of the connection to God, to Allah. Really believe that he can hear you. He too is sentient. Just this tiny, tiny dot, like the one on the wall behind where my finger's almost pointing now. This power, this powerful being of energy, of purity, just wants us to be the same and feel better in ourselves. So let's start our journey now. Let's start our journey, our meditation journey. It's called the 4 stones. So thank you for listening to a wee talk there. I hope your treasure box is really full. The precious things in your life, which are material, and of course the things in your heart and in your soul, which are equally appreciative. We need both. We need both to take care of ourselves in this body. So our meditation now is called the 4 stones. So sitting comfortably. And invite you now onto a journey to the 4 stones. You leave where you are in your thoughts, and you walk along a pathway, a beautiful pathway, trees and flowers and birds singing. You feel so safe. It's neither too hot nor too cold. It's just right. You're alone, and it feels good. And as you walk a little further, you come to a gate. And on the gate, there's a sign. And the sign says, "Welcome to the 4 stones. Come in. Come in." You hear this voice. You open the gate. You close it behind you. You feel safe, loved. And you walk a little farther, neither too hot nor too cold. And in front of you is a stone. And on the stone, there's a little message. And the message says, wear what you wish. Wear the clothes you wish. You feel safe. You wear your favorite clothes, maybe shoes, or walking barefoot on this warm grass pathway. You're feeling good. And as you walk a little further up the grass pathway, you come to another stone. And on the stone, there's a sign. And the sign says, throw to this stone anything you don't want in your life. Is there something in your treasure box that you treasured for too long and need to let go of it? Anything that's hurting you, throw at the stone now. You can throw what you wish. No one is watching. No one. No one to judge you, just to love you. You feel this loving presence around you. It's okay. Keep throwing the rubbish away. Wow. And even those hidden bits in hidden corners, from the shadows of your soul, let them go. It's okay. Let them go. Nobody knows, just let them go. You walk a bit further. You walk further up the grassy path. You're wearing what you wish, and suddenly you feel lighter inside. You feel lighter because this weight you were carrying is gone. Wow. You've left them with that second stone. Then you come to the third stone. And on the third stone, there's another sign. And the sign says, take all that you wish from me. It's okay to take. Fill yourself with the love that you are, the peace that you are, the kindness that you are, the respect that you are, the beautiful soul that you are. Fill yourself up with these invisible treasures. Fill yourself, fill your soul, all the bits that you've taken out now to fill with pure, pure light and goodness. No one is watching. These treasures are priceless. You can't buy them in any shop. You can't buy happiness. You can't buy love. But these are a gift for you to fill your heart and your soul. You can't wait to get to the fourth stone. When you're ready, you walk along this grassy path. It's neither too hot nor too cold. It's just right. And no one is watching you. It's just you. You feel so good. You feel so valued and trusted. And you believe in yourself and your goodness. And as you come nearer the last stone, your eyes shine. Luminous light brightens your eyes, because the fourth stone isn't a stone. The stone is a diamond. Wow. It's a huge, huge diamond, looking just like you. And as you go nearer, you hear a soft voice. Come. Come, child, come. And as you approach the diamond opens. It opens wide, and a soft voice calls you. Come in. You walk in, you feel safe. And as you look around, as you look out through the diamond, there are no edges to the diamond, just beauty, just goodness, just love and kindness. That's all you can see. You feel so good with this pure, pure vision that you have. And then the voice, a louder voice said, look up. Look up. And as you look up, you see the most beautiful point of light, like a star. And intuitively, you hear this voice speaking to you, to your soul, to your heart. Welcome home. Welcome home to who you are. A beautiful soul. So good and true, with love and kindness, warmth. You are loved. You are loved so much. Humbled by this feeling, you take a very small treasure box now of what really matters in your life and show it to this light, this point of light. These are my treasures. And in return, you are given a diamond. A diamond goes into your treasure box just for you. You bathe in this warmth, you bathe in this light, you bathe in this feeling of goodness. And you've got one question on your mind. Who are you? Who are you? The voice replied, I am your father. I am your spiritual father, the father of all children on this earth, each with a gift to give, each with a part to play. And you ask a second question then, but who am I? And intuitively you hear the answer. You are loved, you are precious, you are loved. It's time to leave the diamond. You walk backwards out of the diamond and it closes once again. You can go back any time to the diamond. You feel so light and good. You walk back down the grassy pathway, neither too hot nor too cold. It's just right. Past the stone that says, take what you wish. And you say, thank you. past the stone where you throw your rubbish away. Thank you. And you throw one more to the stone. And back to the stone where it says you can wear what you wish. And you continue and choose to wear what you wish. Is goodness and kindness. Out through the gate, close the gate, down the pathway, and before reaching home, sit under a tree and quietly reflect of all the treasures in your heart. A treasure we can go back anytime. Treasure we can go back anytime through your thought, your meditation. Not just the first stone, not just the throwing away, not just the treasures to receive, but the diamond. No one can take that gift away from you. No one can take away the gifts that are safe in your heart and soul. You feel those words you received from the diamond, and the diamond in your treasure box, in your heart, keeps telling you, with love, you are loved, you are special. You are loved, you are special. You are loved. You are the treasure. Just be who you are. A child of God. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this 1 hour. Take care of your treasure box. Till next time. Bye-bye.